Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising is an incredibly ambitious title. You're going to see an open world the size of which you've never seen before. You're going to be able to interact with everything that's in that world. It was an incredibly difficult game to develop. Some of the technology that we're using here is unique. Our streaming technology is unsurpassed.
Visual effects are very important in Operation Flashpoint. The main reason is because we want to really get across the violence and awe that modern ordnance creates. We use several different things to really sell the impact of this modern ordnance. The main one is there are particle effects, and we have a custom written tool that lets us rapidly iterate and create many effects. We've got around 200 in the game at the moment. Some of these effects might be a burning tank, a huge explosion caused by off-board support, artillery for example. We've also got lots of different impact effects with bullets striking all sorts of different surfaces.
We use a technique called cube-mapped particles. Cube-map is a spherical texture. It essentially makes a particle look like it rolls like a ball. We can actually make it look like it's three-dimensional.
Something as simple as smoke comes in lots of different flavours in our game. You've got smoke grenades which are used to cover infantry when they're assaulting, and then you've got things like smoke plumes from burning tanks which stay in the environment for quite some time.
In Flashpoint, smoke can obscure various different targets including yourself. This is great for stopping laser rangefinders as well. Also, there are various different coloured smokes. This is something that people will be able to use to designate targets and things in co-op play.
Smoke's also used tactically. In a tank you can launch smoke shells and basically create a mask for enemy lasers, so it's harder to shoot the tank using a modern weapon system. Of course, we've modelled things like thermal vision systems. Certain vehicles have thermal scopes, so you can actually see through smoke and see heat signatures of vehicles and enemy the other side.
As well as time of day varying as you play, weather can be dynamically changing as you're playing a mission, so you'll have fog rolling in and affecting your view distance, maybe requiring you to switch to thermal vision whilst you're playing a mission. It can fundamentally change the approach you're going to take to attack an enemy.
To really sell the experience of being an infantryman and on the floor and getting shot at, we couldn't just use visual impacts on the ground. It wasn't enough. It didn't really sell the immediacy of actually getting shot at. So we came up with a screen effect system.
When you're shooting something nearby, you get the effect of things hitting you, like dust or water or blood splattering on the camp. The grime of war is just hitting you. If you get shot, there's a visual effect on the character that shows blood, and it starts off as a small patch and then spreads slowly across the body.
I think one of the strongest parts of the game, indeed one of the strongest characters in the game, is the island itself. The environment, the lighting, the time of day, the foliage, the whole thing. It's a massive area, and it's a size that you've never seen before on a console.
You can strip the scene down to a basic surface and light that surface on its own, and that's quite straightforward to do. So we start with deferred lights, then we add ambient light with occlusion and directional lighting, followed by surface diffuse and atmospherics. Finally, we treat the scene with a paste process. All these layers combined help to create the immersive experience of Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising.
All our vegetation on the island is based on what actually grows there in real life on the Sakhalin Island belt. We've got over 30 different types of vegetation, 8 different types of forests. They all combine in Skira to make a really unique play environment. So you've got the very barren, bare hills on the highlands compared to the very lush valleys lower down.
The grass and plants are all placed using a procedural system that executes in real time as you wander around the island.
This environment, this level of realism, this atmosphere that we generate will bring you closer to war than you've ever been.